Welcome to the Hacktoberfest awareness session organized by the Mozilla and FOSS community of IIT. We are super excited to have you on board with us. To enlighten you with everything you've got to know to get started, we have a very special guest. He's the co-founder of NLabs, a freelancer, and currently employed as a software engineer at SimCentric. Furthermore, he's an active member of the FOSS and Mozilla clubs of Sri Lanka. A warm welcome to you, Mr. Sudaraka Senaviratna. The virtual platform is yours.
Thank you, guys. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this session. And without delay, I'll share my screen. Right. Yes, hope you can see my screen. And, okay, right now. Yep, I'm Sudaraka Sundar. As Shamai mentioned, that I am currently working as a team lead of Campus Club for Mozilla Sri Lanka and working active member of the FOSS Sri Lanka as well. So today topic is to talk about the Hacktoberfest, and let's begin. And so these are the things that I'm going to talk about today throughout the session. So what is Hacktoberfest and how you guys can register for the Hacktoberfest and do the things, and what are the things you need to know when you are doing the Hacktoberfest. And the final thing, I'm going to demonstrate you the how to contribute to the some kind of open source project. Right. Yes, I put this image to my slide since in every Hacktober event there's a separate kind of theme. So in this year, this is the theme for the Hacktoberfest. So yeah. So let's move to our first topic, to what is the Hacktoberfest. Right, Hacktober is kind of a month-long celebration, which is occurring in yearly. So this event is organized by the some kind of organization like DigitalOcean. So they encourage people to contribute to the open source in the October month. So that's why we call it Hacktoberfest. And the basic aim of this celebration of this event is to giving back what you learn from the community and what you get from your open source things. So that's about the Hacktoberfest. So if I talk about the history of the Hacktoberfest, the Hacktoberfest is launched in 2013 with the 700 of participants. But in the last year, the Hacktoberfest 2021, there are, I think, more than 141,000 participants contribute to the open source projects. And this year also, they already started. It's, I think, normally start in the September 26 and to October 31. So in this year, they have introduced a new section called low no code contribution, because you know that in the industry there are some kind of developers and there are BA roles and the designers, QA engineers, and UX engineers. So those people are in the industry as well. So in this year, they promote the non-technical persons to contribute to the Hacktoberfest as well. So I'm explain more about this thing in my later part of the slides. So let's continue to the next slide. Yeah. These are the major things, major roles in the Hacktoberfest event. So in the Hacktoberfest, we are mainly working with the projects hosted in the some kind of platform, code sharing platform. Let's say GitHub and GitLab. So I will explain what is the GitLab and GitHub in when we are going for the demo session. So basically, these three people are the major characters in the Hacktoberfest. The first one is the maintainer who owns the open source project, or the person who maintains the PR and the or the merge request or pull request and moderate the things of the project issues and those kind of things. And the beginner the person who never made a pull request before, or some kind of a technical person or non-technical person, he's a beginner. So the contributor in this Hacktoberfest event is the person who already have contributed to the open source, or some kind of person who work already worked in tech industry. So that kind of thing. So these are the, so when you are going to do the Hacktoberfest, you can identify yourself as one of these people. So let's say maybe you are a maintainer and also you are maybe a contributor. So both you can handle. Right. Yes. Speaking about the Hacktoberfest, there are several things in the Hacktoberfest event, but the one of the major thing is the Hacktoberfest values. So when you know that when we are doing some kind of thing, there's some kind of values. No? So in the Hacktoberfest, there are several values. So the one of the value is the everyone is welcome. So as I previously mentioned that the Hacktoberfest is open event. So if you are either in the tech industry or not in a tech industry, if you are beginner, you already can, if you never have submit some kind of pull request, or even you don't have any kind of GitHub or GitLab account, you can contribute to the Hacktoberfest. Because it's everyone is welcome. You can learn from the already existing repositories and internet. So you can get your knowledge and you can contribute to the Hacktoberfest. And the second and most important value of the Hacktoberfest event is the quantity is the fun, but quality is the key. Because you know that we can contribute multiple useless things to the internet. No, but if you are committing a good thing, like a very valuable thing, definitely it will be valuable for others as well. So when you are going to do the contribution to the Hacktoberfest event, always keep in mind that your contribution should be in a quality level. So you can just say some kind of things, but like that's not a big deal. But if you're a beginner, you can just test this Hacktoberfest event and learn throughout the year for the next year, and do some quality contribution. But it's always the Hacktoberfest event is always encourage the people to contribute the quality stuff to the competition, so ceremony. So the other thing is the short-term and action and long-term impact. You know that you some kind of spend several hours to your pull request. I mean that your contribution to the Hacktoberfest, but sometimes later, let's say after a year, so one of the person is looking for that kind of code implementation from in the internet. So they will find your contribution, so they can get the idea. So the impact is in the long term, because you know that sometimes we also doing some kind of coding things. We when we got some issues, so we normally search the internet. So if we can find something good project or some kind of a good solution, we will collect them. So that's how this kind of short term impact. This Hackathon is a 1 month long celebration, but the impact is so long. So these are the Hacktoberfest values for the this year. Right. So that's the all about the basic things about the Hacktoberfest. The next important thing is how you guys can register to the Hacktoberfest event. So Hacktoberfest, before going to register for the Hacktoberfest, there are several things you need to know in order to do the Hacktoberfest. These are the couple of things you should know to start the Hacktoberfest. So first thing is you must register the time between September 26 to October 31. So if you miss this deadline, you cannot participate for the Hacktoberfest. So keep in mind, in every year, September 26 and October 31st. So that is the time frame for the Hacktoberfest in each year. So the second important point is you should create pull request or merge request to GitLab or GitHub hosted repositories. It means that you should create pull request only to the GitHub and GitLab platforms where the Hacktoberfest is organized. So I will later explain what are the things you need to check before selecting a project to contribute. So the next thing is that your PRO MR, I mean the pull request or merge request, should be accepted by the relevant country maintainer of the project. Let's say you submit a pull request to DigitalOcean repository. So there is a maintainer to maintain that project. So he or she should accept that your contribution to the repository. That's how your contribution is accepted. So in order to complete the Hacktoberfest event, you should pull or merge. You should pull or merge request. You should create 4 or more pull requests to the Hacktoberfest, and those at least 4 of your pull requests should be accepted by the relevant maintainers. So and the last point is the some kind of most of the people are looking for these kind of things. So the first 40,000 participants can have some kind of prize, like a tree or plant that planted in their name. So these are the things you need to know before starting the Hacktoberfest here. So you need to register between September 26th to 31st time frame, and you need to find some kind of repository hosted in GitHub or GitLab. So your PR request should be accepted by the relevant maintainer of the project, and you should complete at least 4 pull requests to the Hacktoberfest event, and you should be able to complete within first 40,000 participants in order to have the gift. So these are the things you need to know before starting the Hacktoberfest event. So I'll show you that how to register for the Hacktoberfest event. Yep. So this is the Hacktoberfest site. So each and every year the site theme will be changed, but the domain is same. So you can visit the site. Right. Okay. So this is the Hacktoberfest site. So you can see this year theme. So you can click right. You can click the top corner start hacking button to start the Hacktoberfest event. Also, this link is working fine. So you can create either this or this. So I'm going to click here. So after clicking the start hacking button, it will ask to initiate your account login with the either GitLab or GitHub. So you can, if you have a GitHub account, you can use this section, or if you have a GitLab account, you can use this section. So once you click initiate, it will redirect to the GitHub to get in order to get your login details. So you can enter your username and password and click sign in. So it will redirect back to the Hacktoberfest site, and your account will be created in the Hacktoberfest site. So I have already registered to this platform, so I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to click start hacking button. So it will automatically redirect to my GitHub and redirect back me to the Hacktoberfest event, since I am already logged into the GitHub account. So this is my account. I already have completed the my 4 pull requests and already claimed the things. And one of my committees, some of the things are still accepting and not accepted. So these are the things you can see. This PR is already accepted. So this pull request is already is still waiting. So I will explain these 2 things separately when we are going for the demonstration. So back to the presentation. So right. So that's how you need to register for the Hacktoberfest. So before starting the contribution, there are several things you need to know about the Hacktoberfest thing, like some kind of rules kind of thing. So I'm going to explain those things one by one. So these are the major rules you need to know to before start the contribution. So as I previously mentioned, that the out of bound exception is kind of thing that you need to publish, you need to create your PRO pull request within the 1st of October to 31st of October during that period. So and those your pull request should be public, not to the private repository. So you know that in GitHub or GitLab you can host private repositories as well as the public repository. So your contribution should be to the public repositories. So your PR may also the public PR. So the second thing is that the participation. So as I mentioned earlier, that in order to count your contribution to the Hacktoberfest event, the relevant repository should contain some kind of tags, like a label kind of thing, like a Hacktoberfest. I will show you when we are going for the demonstration. So you need to check that whether that the relevant repository is tagged with the Hacktoberfest tag, or either your PR should be labeled as the Hacktoberfest accepted. So I will show those things in after a couple of minutes. So the third parameter is kind of accepted. So as you know that your PR should be accepted by the relevant maintainer, as I previously mentioned, and it should be properly handled by the that maintainer. So that's the accepted. So the other part is that the some kind of excluded part, whether you know that you can find some kind of repositories whether that the quality is not good. Let's say some kind of spam repository, let's they continuously contribute to the repository without maintaining quality. So in some case, if the Hacktoberfest team identified that kind of repository, let's say it's not a good repository, they will eventually ban your repository. So in order to complete your Hacktoberfest, you should select some kind of good and quality repositories to contribute. The other next thing is that your PR should not be a spam PR. Let's say you can put some code to the commit and push the changes to the repository. So that's kind of you are doing some kind of spam thing. So for the Hacktoberfest, they will also monitor the spam pull request to the competition. So please not to make sure that you are not doing some kind of spam things to the repository. So if they will find, if the Hacktoberfest team will find you, so they will ban you from the competition. As well as the invalid PR request is the same as the spam request, because if you can do some kind of invalid thing, let's say without fixing the bug, you will create another bug. So some at that point, or the relevant maintainer will not accept your PR, as well as he might label your PR as invalid PR. So if you hit that kind of thing, the Hacktoberfest also disqualified you as the participant for the competition. And the other thing is that the review thing, the one of the important thing, because when you are create a PR, your PR should wait at least 7 days to accepted by the Hacktoberfest platform. So throughout those 7 days, they will monitor your PR and your accounts, your repositories, to verify whether that the your relevant contribution is quality contribution. So these 7 things you should keep in mind before creating your PR or doing your contribution. Right. Yes. So okay, right. So that's the most of the all the things about theory part of the Hacktoberfest. So let's move into the demo section too. So yeah, and before moving to the actual contribution, there are some kind of several Git commands, because actually the Hacktoberfest is based on your contribution should be based on the GitLab or GitHub. So in order to do the things, you should have some kind of basic idea about the Git. What are the Git commands? So these are the some kind of basic commands you should know to contribute to the Hacktoberfest. So the first one is clone the repository. It's some kind of thing that you can get the copy of the repository. So the second command is git branch. To update create the git branch and git extend, these kind of thing, some similar things. So I'm not going to more deep in dive in theory here. So I'm going to explain when I'm going to do the demo thing. Okay, right. Let's set let's set the first PR, right? Okay, so right, this is the repository that I selected for to show the demonstration. So you can see here, when you are selecting a repository to your contribution, first you need to check whether it contains this kind of tag. So in here you can see this is the Hacktoberfest tag. So you know, if the Hacktoberfest is there, you can contribute the repository, and those your PR, your contribution will be counted to the Hacktoberfest event. So so this is how you can select. So also you can click here the Hacktoberfest event tag. So you can see most of all the Hacktoberfest repositories available in the GitHub, right? So you can see there are multiple. I think there are a lot of Hacktoberfest event repository. You can find one based on your preference or what you are trying to do here. So contribute to that event. Okay, so I selected this Cloud Haiku repository is doing by the DigitalOcean. So this kind of some kind of simple repository you can contribute if you are some kind of level of beginner. So in here we create some kind of poetry things. So haiku is some kind of Japanese poetry. So you can create some kind of poetries about the infrastructure and not about the other things. So they will check your PR, and they will mark as valid PR if you are doing, if you are committing the your haiku about the infrastructure, right? So so then we can start the contribution. So I'll show you that how to do the contribution. So before going to start the contribution, you need to get the copy of this original repository, because you don't have any kind of permission to push the changes directly to the parent repository. So in order to do that, you need to click the fork button here to get a copy of the this repository to your personal account space. So in order to do that, first you need to click this fork button. Then it will create a fork, the fork of this original repository. So in here you can select your account. Since I already have forked this repository, so I cannot fork this to my other thing, so other account. So here you can create the repository name, and you can tick here to copy the main branch. So when you are going to the Git, there are several branches, like in main, you can see here main test branches. So because you only need to get the original repositories, the important things, you can click here to copy the main branch only. Otherwise, the fork will copy other branches as well to your personal space. So not so in order to get the main copy, you can click here and click the create fork button. So I am not going to click the create fork button. So after you are click the create fork button, you can see the your copy of this repository under your profile section. Let's see, like this. So in here, this is my repository, my username / Cloud Haiku. You can see this repository fork from. They also show that the original repository you fork from this repository. So this is the original repository. This is my personal repository. Right. So this is how you get the copy of the original repository to your personal space in order to start the contribution. So what is the next? Next thing is you need to get the copy of this code to your local environment. This is some kind of online platform. So in order to get the this code section to your local branch, you need to click this code button. So when you're clicking this, it will ask to clone the repository. Clone is we are getting the copy of this your repository to your local branch. So I'm going to clone here. You can either select HTTPS, SHO, GitHub CLI. So I'm going to continue with HTTPS. So you can click this button to copy this link and go to your local environment, some kind of folder. So I'm going to do it here. So I have copied the link, and I'm going to open my terminal. in order to clone the repository to start the contribution. Right. Right, so I'm going to type git. So I need to clone. So I type git clone, and the link I copied from the GitHub. So this is the command to use. You need to use in order to get the copy of the repository. So I'm going to hit enter. So the repository cloning is cloned to my local environment. So it might take some kind of time based on internet connection. So yeah. Right, so I'm going to shift to my cloud hiker folder. So right, you can see I got the copy of the repository. So I'm going to open this project in my code editor. Right. Okay, so right, so now we clone the repository and open the repository project contents through our IDE. So next thing is we need to contribute. So before starting the contribution, it's always you should read their documentation. So in here they have mentioned that how to contribute to this kind of repository. So in here you can see under their readme section, there's a separate section called contributing. So you can see all the rules and what are the let's say some kind of structure you should follow in order to do the contribution. Let's say the file name and location, what is the format, those kind of things. So all the things are mentioned here. You can follow this documentation in order to do the contribution. Otherwise your contribution will be marked as invalid, like I previously mentioned that. So always keep in mind, you read the contributing section of the documentation in order to get the perfect idea about the contribution. So in here they especially mentioned that how to create the file name and location. So this in order to contribute to this code haiku repository, you should create a your file under the underscore haiku directory. So I'm going to open my code editor, and this is the haiku folder. So I'm going to create a new file called let's say I'm going to hit the year as well first. So it's going to run. Actually, I already have created some simple poem, so I'm going to use that. Right. Right. This format should be MD. It's some kind of format. So right, markdown format. So in here you need to do your changes, like write your poem. Right. So let's say, so what is the next thing? Next thing is that you need to add the format to the file. Let's say some kind of boilerplate to your code. So you can just copy these things and paste to your code. So this layout should be haiku. Then title should be what is your title to the contribution. So I'm going to say like server 500. This is some kind of random thing, random thing. So the author will be me. So I'm going to put my name, right? So my GitHub username. So I'm using it here. Right. So this is the structure you need to follow before creating a haiku file. So the next thing is that so we create the file name file, and we added the format. Then we need to write the our haiku. So in here they also have mentioned that there's some kind of example haikus. You can follow the same structure, those kind of things. So like see, you can see all the examples are available here. You can simply read this documentation part and complete your first haiku and mark as the accepted by the this repository thing. So yeah, so I'm going to copy and paste my thing, my poetry here. So yeah. This is some kind of simple thing I wrote here a couple of minutes ago. So you can do sample like this, and you can follow the others contribution as well, get some kind of idea about how to contribute to the this kind of thing. So right, so I'm going to find my one here, right. Right. Okay, so this is my haiku file. So now we should commit these changes to the repository. So I am going to go to my console again. So I'm going to clean the bash, and I'm going to type git status to check what is my changes. So this is my change. I added a new file called 2022 server 503 MD. So in here you see that it's mentioned in the red color since it's an untracked file. So in order to do the contribution, so in order to create the PR or do the in order to do the start the commit, you need to track this file. So in order to track this file, you should type git add, and you can either click K to add all, but it's I'm going to add the file by name. So I'm going to move to the location haiku, and my file is 2022 underscore server 503. So in like this, you can add the this unpacked file to your commit. So I'm going to hit enter. So now I'm going to again type git status in order to check whether my file is added to my commit. Now you can see it's now in green color. So it's already added to my commit message. So commit. So next thing is you need to add some kind of meaningful message to your commit. So whether the relevant contributor, relevant maintainer identify your commit through this message. So this commit message should be some kind of meaningful thing, because the other person, the other party is identified based on your message. So I'm going to add my commit message here. So git commit m, and to to I'm going to commit let's say what is going to Hacktoberfest let's say my Hacktoberfest 22. So, right, like this, some kind of meaningful thing. So I'm going to hit enter. So this commit message will be append to my commit. Right. You can see one file change and the number of insertion as mentioned here. So I have added nearly 9 lines. So next thing, you add the file and you add the commit message. So the next thing is you need to push this commit to your remote branch, because these changes are in your local environment. So now you need to push these changes to the remote environment. Remote environment means to this repository under your personal space. So in order to do that, you need to type git push. So this will push the changes to the remote branch, so your personal space. So you can see this my changes has been sent to the this repository. It means that GitHub my Sudarga is my username and my repository. So you can click here to go to the repository. Right. Okay, so now your changes is available in your personal space repository. So you can see with my name, is my changes has been added here. So the next thing is that this is in your personal space. So in order to move your changes to the main repository, which means that the original repository is here, you need to do some kind of thing like creating the PR. So this is how you're going to create the PR. So in order to create the PR, once you add the changes to your personal space repository, the GitHub will show this branch is one commit ahead of the do community main. It means that your branch is updated when you're considering about the original repository. So in order to push the your repository changes to the main repository, you need to click this contribute button, and it will show this branch is one commit ahead of the do community main. So you need to click the open pull request button, right? So I'm going to click the open pull request button like this. So right, so in here you can see some kind of form you need to submit. So in here you can add the title. So I'm going to keep it static. My haiku, my first haiku for the Hacktoberfest 2021. Right, so I'm going to add a comment here as well. This is my first year for cloud haiku. Like this. So and when you are create the pull request, make sure you check these things as well. So you are going to push the changes to the base repository, which the original repository, from your personal space. You can see from my personal space repository to the original repository. So after that, you can hit the create pull request button like here. So I'm going to click the create pull request button. So now your pull request has been sent to the original repository. So one of the project, what we call this repository maintainer, should accept this and verify the changes and merge the change request to the original branch. So I will show one of my contribution to this followed haiku repository. So you can get some kind of idea about the close repository. So I'm going to open the issue and going to close the issues. Right. Actually, a couple of days ago, the Cloud Haiku repository, there's kind of issue with the Cloud Haiku repository. So I created a separate issue in this Cloud Haiku repository to mention the bug, and as well as I add the fix here. So also you can find the some kind of bugs or issues in the existing repository. You can create some kind of issue like this, and also add the fix as well. So I'm going to check the fix. So you can see I created this PR 5 days ago. So after I identifying the issue with the this repository in the Windows environment, so I fixed that issue and committed the changes. So you can see that this person is accepted my has been accepted my changes and merged the changes to the original repository. Right. So likewise, you can see this is that my contribution. So it's still waiting. It's 5 days ago, so it's 2 days is still pending. So after your PR is accepted by the that relevant maintainer of the project, you can see screen like this in your Hacktoberfest account, like waiting 7 days. So after the 7 days, it will accept like this, right? So this is how you can contribute, create the PR, and get things done. So after you completing the your full for at least 4 PR, you can see some kind of screen like this. You can read me your gift as well, and some kind of badges here. Likewise, so that's how you guys can contribute to the Hacktoberfest event. And there's a several things that also you can contribute to a open repositories. Let's say you have some kind of your own repositories. So you can also contribute to those repositories if they are in a public status. So that's also can count to the Hacktoberfest event, right? There's the most of things about the creating PR and community changes. So I'm going to move to the my presentation in order to talk about some kind of important thing from this year. Right. 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 From this year that they have mentioned that some kind of thing you need to know about the low code or no code. I previously mentioned that this thing about the low code and no code contribution. As I previously mentioned that let's say if you are not a technical person, or you are some kind of a person who worked in the non-technical area, like say you are some kind of a UX UI engineer or QA engineer, you are not actually involved in the development, so you also can participate for the Hacktoberfest in this way. Like you can if you are good at some kind of report role, like let's say some kind of BO PM role, you can write technical documentation to the repositories. You can those contribution as also counted for the Hacktoberfest from this year as well. Let's say you can find some kind of good repository, you can check their technical documentation and you can improve those their technical documentation, create the your contribution as a PR, like I previously showed you. So as well as you can if you are good at some kind of other language, let's say you find some repository in English, you can support the translation as well, like say you can support the add some kind of locale files to their repositories to give the support for the translation as well. So that's contribution also counted to the Hacktoberfest. And other thing that if you are some kind of QA engineer or some kind of UX UI engineer, so you also can test the application. If you can find some kind of open source project, let's say some kind of player in the GitHub, they have open source play, so you can test that their application and submit the testing reports to the repository. As well as if you are good at some kind of UX engineer, you can design some kind of new interface to the their application and submit as a PR request. So those kind of things also accepted by the Hacktoberfest team from this year. And also if you are good at some kind of social media engineering, those kind of things, you can host some kind of like a podcast or some kind of social media post or blog post regarding that open source project, and those contributions should be published, should be pass as the PR request to the repository in order to mark the contribution. So these kind of things now you can do from the Hacktoberfest, like a no code or low code or no code section. So so try to contribute as much as possible to the open source, because you know that the when we are going to the open source, there are more several projects, like even we are as a developers, you know that the importance of the open source projects, because even you are using some kind of frameworks because of their open source. So these are the things I need to mention you guys today. So right, yeah, and I'm going to end my slides today. So yep, and thank you for listening. And you can contact me to these contact details anytime if you want. If you had kind of question regarding Hacktoberfest event or any support or those kind of things. Yep, that's all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sudarakar. We are truly grateful for the time and effort you took to educate our lovely audience. I hope our viewers were able to get the drift of the event, familiarize themselves with JIT, and get an understanding on how they can contribute to open source. Keep in mind, as Mr. Sudaraka mentioned, Hacktoberfest is for everyone, no matter whether it's your first time contributing or you've been an active contributor for the past couple of years. Can't wait to see your participation this year. Thank you for watching. Happy Hacktoberfest and have fun contributing.